What is going on, everyone? I hope you've all had a wonderful day. It is Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, and I know I'm going to be getting myself some tacos and kind of try to forget about what happened today. We're going to go over in a quick fashion what happened today, as there isn't a whole lot to review, as it was a pretty choppy, messy day. We are still in a balance, so in a trading range between our balance high of 40.3950 and our balance low of 39.3750. So daily still in balance, not a whole lot to review. I'm going to go over a few of my trades that I had today. Uh, and just kind of break it down. Once again, if you guys are enjoying the content, please leave a like down below and comment something, maybe let me know how we're doing. Anyway, let's get into it. So, right out the gate, yes, we opened up near yesterday's low. All right. We opened up near yesterday's low, and I said if we would open up inside the day's range and we get the day's low, there really isn't a whole lot holding us up until we get to the previous day's low, or the low from what was that? Friday's low. So, not a whole lot holding us up. However, there was one area of interest, and that is where a change took place on Friday, and that would be right around in this area above E's highs, where change appeared to attempt to take place. So, once we got into that area, obviously we found buyers and bounced up. Um, so, that was an area of interest going into it. However, I was not aware of that area and did not think about it as we kind of pulled into it late in the day. Choppy mess around most of the evening, or excuse me, most of the morning. A, B, C, D, E, F, pretty much just rotational. Same thing with G period. And then we had a few nuances to help give us a better direction of which way this market was going to attempt to go. Um, it was pretty much mixed MGI for the most part. As we had taken out the previous day's low, we had began one time framing up in B period. So all that means is we took out the first 30-minute time frame high. And then in C period, we took out B's low, stopping the one time framing. And then took out our initial balance low and then got the overnight low as well. So sellers started to have things in their corner. They began to have initial balance low, overnight low, and value was lower, and they took out the previous day's low. However, nobody had the open, just chop back and forth through it. So once we tried to go trend in C period, we couldn't really do it. We reversed in D, came back up to the open, and then we continued to chop around for a little bit E, F, and G period. Now you notice we came back and forth through this 4,000 level a few times. That was our point of control for a good portion of the day. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide. Okay, 7 wide at 4,000, meaning 7 time frames out of the 13 so far had traded back and forth through that 4,000 level. So late in the day, in H period, we pushed up, but we did not get it. That was kind of a nuance. If point of control is strong or an area where buyers and sellers are extremely happy, we should have rotated back up to it. However, we didn't get to it. We didn't get back into the previous day's range, and that was kind of a telltale sign that this market may begin to roll over. However, once we pulled back in H period, I began to take a long position, fading the edge. So basically, taking a long position, buying against the low of the day, expecting us to maybe rotate up and get back to that point of control and then test the highs again. As we attempted to go trend earlier in the day and we couldn't do it, today I tried to do the same, tried to do what happened in D period, right? We got near the low and then reversed back up. That's what I was hoping to happen here in H period, was to get near the low and then maybe I period rotate back up. But that was not the case. We began to stall down here, and I had my stop initially once I period opened up at H's low. Now this is where things began to unravel for me, as I had put on a 2 lot of the minis, and for me that is a pretty decent size. So I had taken a long around the 80, or excuse me, around the 93, 92 level, and had my stop right around H's low, which was 92. But once I began seeing that we pushed up, I could have taken off for a quick profit, but it wanted to see if this thing would really push up to the high here. And all I was thinking about was the PnL. I was not thinking about the trade and the risk associated with the trade. Once I seen we pulled back, I kind of wanted to give this trade a little bit more room, so I moved my stop to the day's low. We began to pull back, and guess what? I moved my stop again. Bad news bears, right? I did not respect my stop and got hurt because I continued to move it lower and lower. And actually, I can show you what happened here, and then I'll explain the rest of my trade. So you can see here, I took a 2 lot long. If you can read on my screen here, 2 lot entry at 93, expecting a rotation back up to the point of control. And then as we pulled in, I had my stop here, and then I moved it down, and then finally I moved it to 92, then 89, then finally 87, where I got stopped out and began to get emotional about it and wanted to make my money back. So what did I do naturally? I wanted to fade the extreme, right? I wanted to buy against this pullback. Well, once I got long, I was kind of thinking maybe it'll reverse in a quick fashion and I'll make my money back, right? Starting to think emotionally and not think about the trade or the setup. So I got emotional. We got near the low here. I took a long position. You can see that here. A long day 5 lot, this time a 5 lot of the minis, really large size at 89, thinking I'd get my money back fading. So thinking this market would come in and then rotate back up in a quick fashion. And then once we rotated lower, I stopped myself out of that 5 lot at 87.75, and my emotions began to build more. How did I know my emotions were building? Because I was increasing my size, trying to get that money back, right? So I let my emotions get to me, and I was not trading the right way. I was becoming hopeful, or I was becoming hopeful when I should have been fearful, right? I should have realized that I'm putting myself in bad situations. Step away, breathe, come back, and try to make the next trade. However, I did not do that and got hurt as I began to take another position at the lows this time around. I shorted a 5 lot against 82.75. Once again, an emotional size and entry as I was expecting this market to rotate lower and potentially run this J stop down here at 78, or at least get to that point. Now, with that 5 lot, I would have gotten my money back, but that was not the right trade. I should have seen we couldn't go trend earlier in the day. What makes me think that we're going to go trend? As well as that area that I talked about at the beginning of the video where change attempted to take place above E's high, right? From that day, if we zoom out here, you can see once we got above E's high, we continued to move up higher. Well, we pulled back into that area, and guess what? We found some support, some buyers, and we rotated back up. And then obviously I got stopped out at 86 on a 5 lot. I took another position, but I did not mark it on the chart here. I actually ended up taking a 10 lot at one point in time, and it pulled back just enough to stop me out. And I had a pretty rough day. Ended up losing my another funded account right here, net PnL 25.99. Pretty bad day. Win percentage 13, lose 81. So terrible trade, terrible trading, as it was an emotional day for me, and I did not trade according to my plan. Now it's time to go back to the basics, reduce my size, begin to build up my confidence, go back to the checklist. Prior to making these videos, I've been writing and journaling every trade and entry and keeping a checklist on my notepad that I have next to me at most of the time. And I highly recommend you guys doing this because it'll help you realize when you are doing something you shouldn't. Had I instead taken the short instead of the long in I period, once we pushed up, seeing that we were one time framing down in G and in H, we couldn't get back to the point of control. odds were favoring that we'd set a new low in the day. Had I taken just that one trade, stop myself out of the long, or taken the quick profits and flipped short, I would have had a much better day. Instead, I got emotional, moved my stop, created a large loss, and then tried to fight my way back um, with emotions instead of a correct trade. However, the long down here, fading the extreme, was a good idea, and I could have waited until J period to take the long against eyes low, used eyes low as my out, because guess what we did in J? We popped up real good. K period, filled it, set a single print, and then L period and M continued to grind back up to that point of control where we ended up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 wide. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wide at L's high. Not 9 wide up here. 9 wide at L's high, if I'm not mistaken, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to say 9 wide at L's high. However, no matter where you put it, 4,000 level was an area that we would rotate back up to, and we got there late in the evening. And you can kind of see where that set of single prints was initially. So yeah, emotional trading will lead to losses. If you do not have your emotions in check, then you will have an extremely bad time in this market. Can't emphasize it enough. Size. For me, I'm going to be reducing my size. I'm going to go back to the micros. And there was honestly no reason for me to trade this market today. I had a good day yesterday, and then seeing that today was choppy initially, I actually decided not to trade most of the day, and then got involved in H. And then once I took that loss initially, because I had taken a long once and had a loss for a small amount, and then got back into that long position where I had the larger loss. I should have just stepped away from the market after the second loss, realizing I had a great day. I even said to myself earlier this morning that I had such a good day yesterday that I could not trade the rest of this week and be fine. And then I completely ignored myself. And yeah, it speaks volumes, right? When you ignore yourself, you should trust your gut. And I should not have traded today. So we'll try to get back up on the horse tomorrow. Trade one day at a time. We got a long career ahead of us. One trading day does not mean I'm a bad trader. However, emotions will take a toll on how you trade. Let's go ahead and mark our low of day here at 39.80.75. We're going to mark our day high and low, our point of control, and then get out of here. We will not. We'll review the daily, but that's all we'll review because the weekly is still in a balance, and the daily is also still in a balance. Today's high was 4,950. 4,950. Why is this not marking? 1,950. And all the market is, whenever it's in balance, is a market waiting for more MGI or market generated information. So that's all this market is waiting for, a catalyst of some sort, whether it be news or some other type of event or just shorts beginning to cover. That will have an effect on how this market moves. Today's low of day was 39.80.75. And I got to commend my mentor, Paul, as he was actually long in this situation on the pullback, and the nerves of steel that this man has, and him and a few other traders that were in the room that actually were long on this pullback and started to add around the 84s, 82s level, and then rode this thing back up to the single print fill because they were trading with what they thought was the right trade instead of their emotions. They did really well, and I got to commend those guys on it. If you want a room with a great mentor, a great mentor where they'll, kind of lead you into a good trade and let you know what to do, go join Paul's room. Highly recommend it. All right, so we got our low day there, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to put this in bigger or smaller increments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's not it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so it was the 4,000 level. Sorry. I was trying to make sure I had this right. We're just gonna mark straight up 4,000. M's low 4,075 is going to be our 9Y point of control. We will carry that forward as it will act as some type of magnet, and it's also that visual area that we talk about quite often. 9Y POC. And boom. So tomorrow, if we open up, and it was also a very small range today, one of the smallest ranges, so I definitely should not have traded. I'm actually going to attempt to trade a market that is coming out of balance more frequently versus trading these days where we're in a balance on the daily. Once the daily comes out of balance, I will try to capture points on those days and then try to stay away from choppy days like we've had today and yesterday. So if we open up inside today's range below the point of control and we can't take out the day's low, you will rotate up to the 4,000 level where that 9Y point of control is. If we open up above the 9Y point of control and can't take out today's high at 4,950, you will rotate into that 4,000 level and back test. But the way this market is looking is trying to move up higher, trying to find some more ground where buyers are comfortable stepping into this market. And if we take out tomorrow's high, you will go get 4,034.25, yesterday's high, and then test our balance high at 4,039.50. Speaking of balance, let's look at our larger time frame. And like I said, these moving averages are going to become less and less important to me as we will be chopping back and forth through them for majority of the time. We are in a 1, 2, 3, 4 day balance. 1, 2, 3, 4 day balance. May look to encompass, I don't know, 1, 2, we'll say a 4 day balance. If we get above 4,039.50, we'll be coming out of balance to the upside, and we'll look to take back part of this sell day, this sell tail from back on the 22nd. If we can take out the low, means we'll be getting below the 20, the 200, and then we'll look to take out our balance low 39.3750 and then rotate lower. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for stopping by. I hope you all have had a great day. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.